the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Glory be to the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
As it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, the world without end. Amen.
In the name of the Father,
And of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
attention.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, dear students. How are you?
We are fine, and how are you?
Fine. Get seated. Well, class, today we are going to see on how to solve the questions correctly, and we are going to see an essay question. We are going to take an example of a question which was asked in 2019. This is another area which normal the students do not answer well because of lacking content, so they don't write much information or detailed information. We are going to take the question here. It reads, Rose was talking with her grandmother, who believes that the Earth's shape is flat like a table. By using 6 evidences, describe how Rose will prove to her grandmother, that the Earth is spherical with the aid of diagrams. Class, this question needs you to write an essay. And an essay has got 3 parts. You have to write the introduction in a paragraph. Again, you have to have the main body, which was given, I think it was 6 points. And you have to write the conclusion. Here, you need to be creative with the introduction by knowing the Earth itself as the 3rd planet. You should have enough information about the Earth. Here. Now, according to this question, the explanations should be supported with the diagrams. Of course, these words here have just been added. There was no aid of diagram. But once they tell you to describe, the word describe, it means that you need to explain and support by using the diagram. In geography, that's what is done. So if you check the particular here, most of the students answered the question, but they didn't give the diagrams. They didn't support the essay with the diagrams. As I said, the essay must be written in diagram. Now here, of course, the introduction might differ from one student to another, but all who writes must have enough information. Now here, for example, this is just an example of the introduction. The Earth is the 3rd planet that supports life. It is divided into northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. It is a system which is composed of outer layers, and that involve the atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and the biosphere. And the inner layers that involve the crust, mantle, and the core. Of course, these ones have got the other names. This code is lithosphere, and this one is also the outer layer and the inner layer. The shape of the Earth is spherical, but it is not a perfect sphere. It is a flattened sphere. That is why it is called spheroid. The shape of the Earth takes the shape of an egg, that oval shape. It is not a perfect sphere. And the flattening here, the flattening is very slight at the equator and through the poles, that is north and south pole. The diameter of the Earth is the one which proves that the Earth is not a perfect sphere. The diameter through the pole, for example, is 12,713 kilometers, while at the equator, it is 12,757. So you see that at the equator, the distance is longer than the distance from the North Pole to the South Pole, meaning that it is flattened to some parts from the east to the west. That's why here the distance is greater than that distance here. So it is a flattened sphere. That's why it is called a spheroid. You were supposed to put all these lightings in paragraphs together. Now here we need to prove, why do we say the earth is spherical in shape? In the previous time, people thought that the earth were flat like a table. But later on, people came up with the evidences to show that the earth is spherical in shape. There are several evidences which are used to prove that the earth is spherical in shape. The first evidence is circumnavigation of the earth. When we talk about circumnavigation of the earth, it means that if one travels across the world in a straight line by a fast moving plane or ship without stopping anywhere, he or she will come back to the same point where he or she started. Here, we need to know that we said that the earth is spherical in shape. This one here, it is spherical in shape. Meaning that if you move from this point, going this direction, you come this way. Coming this direction, you come this way. You will come back to the same place. Because it is spherical in shape. And here we have Magellan, who traveled around the earth in 1519 up to 1522. And he came back to the same point. You can see how many years did he use. And we said here, the one must travel across the world in a straight line. If you start here, you go in a straight line. You start from here, you go in a straight line, going around the world. And not only going in a straight line, but also in a fast-moving plane. It can be an aeroplane. Without stopping anywhere. You must not stop anywhere. In that way, you will come back to the same point. This is the first point that proves that the earth is spherical. So, here, you see that this earth is spherical, or we can use this diagram here, showing that you can start from this point, North Pole. You can go very fast, going this way. You come back to the same point. If at all the earth were flat, Magellan would not come back to the same point. Because the earth is flat, that's why the one went in a straight line and came back to the same point. This is the first evidence. So you have to show the explanation here and show the diagram, starting that the one started from somewhere here and went across the world and came back to the same point. So you are supposed to explain and draw this diagram after explaining. Another point is all about sunrise and sunset. Class, here, the time for sunrise and sunset differs or varies from one place to another because the earth is spherical in shape. If at all the earth were flat, the sunrise could not differ. So meaning that there are some places this time the sun is rising. While in other places the sun is setting. In other places it is afternoon. In other places it is evening. In other places it is morning. This is because the earth is spherical in shape. And here it should be noted that it is the earth that moves, but the sun is static. It never moves. So if you refer to the solar system, the earth as the third planet, it revolves around the sun. When it revolves around the sun, because it is spherical in shape, there are some places which will be facing the sun and the others won't be facing the sun. So here, areas which face the sun experience daytime, and areas which do not face the sun, they experience night. And we have said that the time for sunrise and sunset differs. The sun does not rise all the way at the same time, and it doesn't set at the same time. The people in the east see the sun earlier than people in the west. Why? Because the earth rotates from west to east. That's why we used to say that when you move very fast going to east, you gain time. You'll be gaining time very fast. And when you go to the west, you'll be losing time. Because people in the West see the sun later, and people in the East see the sun earlier than people in the West. So when you be going to the West, you'll be losing much time very fast. While going to the West, you'll be losing time because they have seen the sun later after the people in the East. Now here, if the earth would be flat, if the earth were flat, all the earth would not have night. There would be no night. Because night is because the earth is spherical in shape. So if it is spherical in shape, if these areas get the sunlight, there is light. The same earth, it prevents the light from reaching the other side. So here there will be sunset. So there will be no night if at all the earth were flat. And the sunlight would not differ from one place to another. So this is the diagram here. You see, this is sunlight, then it is afternoon. In other places, then it goes there, sunset. When here the sun sets, the other places the sun rises. In the other places, it is afternoon. Continuous experience. Another point here is the aerial photographs. The photographs here are taken by satellites at a great distance from the Earth. They are satellites which are sent, these are artificial satellites which are sent so as they can take a photograph of the Earth. They all show that the Earth is spherical in shape. If the Earth were flat, the satellites would not show the spherical shape of the Earth. So you see here, the satellite taking the photograph of the Earth, and you see here, this Earth, it shows that it is spherical in shape. You can see this side here. It is spherical in shape. Now, if at all the Earth were flat, the photographs would not show the spherical shape. It shows the spherical shape because the Earth shape is spherical. That is another evidence. Another one is lunar eclipse, the lunar eclipse. Class, here we have got two types of eclipse. We have solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse. But lunar eclipse is the one which is used to prove that the Earth is spherical in shape. When lunar eclipse occurs, which one becomes at the center? It is the Earth, right? It becomes between the sun and the moon, right? Now here, because the sun is located in this side here, its shadow will be shown on the other side, which is the moon. So the shadow of the Earth here must be casted on the moon. Remember that when solar eclipse or lunar eclipse occurs, these three bodies must be in a straight line. That the sun, the Earth, and the moon must be in a straight line. So here, because this side there is light, the shadow will be shown on the other side where there is a moon. So normal, when there is eclipse of the moon, the Earth is between the sun and the moon. Hence, the shadow of the Earth is thrown, is shown on the moon, and it is usually spherical in shape. Only a sphere can show a spherical shape. If the Earth were flat, the shadow casted on the moon would not be spherical. It would also be flat. Through this evidence, whereby the shadow of this Earth is spherical, is casted spherical on the moon, we come to know that the Earth is spherical in shape. That is lunar eclipse. So here the point is supposed to be explained and drawn here. Another is the Earth's curved horizon. Class, here, if you go outside and observe the world, whenever you look, you will see some curved horizon, where you will see as it is the end of the Earth. Well, not. If you go there, or if you go up, you will be able to see some more areas far away from the area where you saw while you were down. And you increase the height up, again you'll be able to see furthermore. Now, this curved horizons increases with increasing height because the Earth is spherical in shape. Now here, the Earth's horizon appears curved when seen from a ship or a plane or a high cliff. The curved horizon widens as the observer's altitude increases. As you go up, you'll be able to see furthermore. As you go up again, you'll be able to see more. If at all the Earth were flat, this thing would not happen. For example, here, if the Earth were flat like this one, if it were flat like this one here, if you are here, you'll be able to see up to the end here. The whole Earth will be seen. If you go up, you'll be able to see at the same place, this and this. Someone would be here, would be see at this end and this end. But because the Earth is spherical in shape, once you go here, you'll end up looking these areas here and here. But if at all you increase the height going up, if you go up here, you'll be able to see furthermore here and there. And if you go up again, you'll be able to see up to this point and that point. Now, why should the horizon increase while you are going up with the increasing height? It is because the Earth is spherical in shape. If at all the Earth were flat, one who is somewhere here would be see up to, the whole Earth will be seen. And someone who is there would be able to see the whole Earth. But the horizon increases as you go up because the Earth is spherical in shape. Class, another point here is a ship's visibility. Here we have got two ways of explaining. You can use one ship or you can use two ships. If one ship, you are at the ocean, you see one ship coming. When it is far from you, you'll just see the smoke on top of the ship. Just the smoke. You see just the smoke. As it comes nearby you, you'll first see the top part of the ship, which is the mast. And when it is closer to you, now you'll be able to see the whole ship. Now this gradual movement of seeing the whole ship is caused by the spherical shape of the Earth. But the other explanations can be in this way. If two ships are coming, the observer is able to see only one of them. This is because the Earth is spherical in shape. So because it is spherical in shape, once one is somewhere here, the one in front will hide this one which is in front. It won't be seen here. So the observer will be able to see only one of them when two are coming. This is because the Earth is spherical in shape. If the Earth were flat, the observer would be able to see both ships at once. Or if the one ship is coming, the observer can see smoke first when it is far, then the top of the ship, and finally the whole ship will be seen as it comes closer to the observer. If the Earth were flat, the observer would see the whole ship at once, at the same time. So this gradual sight of the ship is caused by the spherical shape of the Earth. If at all it were flat, you see here, this ship would be seen, the whole ship at once. Or if there are two are coming, they will be seen both at the same time. But you can't see because if the Earth is spherical. Well, class, so as I have said, that if at all the Earth were flat, you could see the whole ship while it is far away from you. Now you can see the top part, the smoke, then the top part, and the whole ship when it is closer to you, because the Earth is spherical in shape. So you can use these two diagrams here, showing that if the Earth were flat, this thing would happen here, and if at all, because the Earth is spherical now, this is the spherical shape, things will be like this. The other one here, we lacked diagram here, it is the surveying with poles on the level ground. If poles of equal length are driven into the level ground into equal intervals, they do not give a perfect level. The central one usually projects, it projects above the others of the level poles. This is because the Earth is spherical in shape, and if at all the Earth were flat, all poles would be at the same level. It is this way, class. If you are making a survey, you dig the holes with the same depth, and you have the poles of the same height. If at all the earth were flat, those poles would be the same. But because the earth is spherical in shape, the central pole will project, will be taller than the others. This is because the earth is spherical in shape. Otherwise, it could show all poles with the same height. Now here, the earth is spherical in shape as it has been proven due to alternation of day and night, that all the time half of the earth faces the sun experiencing daytime, and the other half close not face because doesn't face the sun, experience night. This proves that the earth is spherical in shape. So you can see here the diagram that when the sun rises, it gives light in one side. The other side, it doesn't give light. So class here, this is what we can say. It proves, it gives the evidence that the earth is spherical in shape. We need to ask ourselves, if at all the earth were flat like a table, it would come a time when you move, you would get to the end, you would meet at the end of the earth. But nobody has ever traveled to see the end of the earth. You move, you come back to the same earth, to the same point you started. And at the same time, if at all the earth were flat, how could we get day and night? There would be no day and night. So the evidence which have been given here just show the reality that the earth is spherical in shape, quite different from the first time from the people who believed that the earth is flat like a table. Maybe to share with you some questions as we discussed here. Which places we said they normally see the sun earlier than the other places? Which places? You can raise up the hand. Which places normal people see the sun earlier than the others? Yes, princess? Eastern part. Why did we say in the eastern part people see the sun earlier than the other parts? Yes, young boy there. Because the earth rotates from west to east, right? Now another question to ask you. Why all the time, a half of the earth has light and a half of the earth is dark? Why should it be so? All the time, one part of the earth here, it receives light. The other part doesn't receive light. Why is that so? Think. Why is that so? Belinda.
This is because the earth is spherical, and if it would be flat, that means it will only have daytime.
Clap for the girl. All the time, the earth has light on one side, and it doesn't have light on the other side because it is spherical in shape. Are we together, class? Well, class, this is the end of our presentation. You need to keep on solving different nectar questions on the part of essays because it has a lot of marks also. You must write enough explanations, and where necessary, where you need to support with the diagram, you need to do so. Thank you. Have a good day.